Hi everyone, I'm Madina and I'm a major foodie. Please raise your hand up if you would also consider yourself a foodie. Well, that's a lot of hands and it's no surprise because we are in Melbourne, one of the world's biggest and most multicultural foodie capitals in the world. But food to me has always been more than just something to eat. One of my first memories is cooking with my mom and grandma, and I was so in love with cooking that I actually made my first cookbook when I was 6 years old. Food is how I express love, creativity, connection, and culture. But more than anything, food to me is power. Food connects everything around us, yet in most sustainability conversations, it's treated as a side dish. Too political, too personal, too hard to change. But that's exactly why I think it's the most powerful place to begin with. Here is my story. At 15, I started sharing my love for cooking online, and my blog grew to over 150,000 followers across Instagram and YouTube. At 21, I went plant-based, just out of simple curiosity. But naturally, I shared that journey with my audience back in my home country, Kazakhstan. At first, it wasn't exactly well received because of 3 reasons. First of all, I was among the first to speak about this topic widely. Second, it's a heavy meat-eating culture of Central Asia. And third, people don't like what they don't understand. So I wanted to help people understand why people go plant-based and fell deep into the research, which eventually led to me writing a book. I looked at the interconnectivity of food with the environment, health, and animal welfare, and it was shocking. The global food system drives 80% of deforestation and is the #1 cause of biodiversity loss. But that is me keeping it light. I hope you take time to learn about the ugly truth of the intensive agriculture, especially the mass production of meat, fish, and other animal products. I urge you to learn how unethical, unsustainable, and inhumane it is, not only for animals, but also for humans. But the worst part is that while all of this is happening, it is simply inefficient. 1/3 of all grown and perfectly edible food is wasted, while over 800 million people go hungry every day. And sadly, climate change will only make it worse. The food system is broken, and it needs a massive transformation. One of the most impactful things we can do as individuals is to go on a plant-based diet. Systemic change is slow, and activism work, it works in bringing the light to the problem, but deep behavior change is driven with education. So I decided to be both a climate activist and a science communicator. I published my book, started hosting sustainability events, created plant-based recipe books, and gave host lectures at universities back in my home country. My work in regional mindset shifting led me to be featured at the UN's COP29 and let me speak at the Asian Development Bank platform. Kind of crazy what posting silly videos on Instagram can take you, but what I still noticed in my work was the preconception that eating sustainably means compromising on flavor, experience, nutrition, presentation, or culture. When I moved to Australia and joined the Wattle Fellowship, I knew I wanted to do something different. I wanted people to taste the change. As I was brainstorming my ideas, I was incredibly lucky to have 2 of my amazing friends become 2 of my co-founders. Together with Leonie, a brilliant plant-based chef, and Audrey, an amazing sustainable business expert, we started Seed to Serve. We are a sustainable food concept that's plant-based, seasonal, delicious, and nutritious. And we are committed to implementing sustainability and community into every step of the journey, as the name suggests. More than that, we serve food and knowledge. I like to call it activism through an experience. I want people to taste our food and be like, wow, this is so good. I actually want to learn more. The first concept we tried is bespoke catering, which is also one of the most wasteful areas of hospitality. So far, we've catered 5 events, fed more than 600 people, and partnered with over 10 sustainable producers. And you might have actually tried our catering if you were here yesterday. And if not, don't worry, you have a chance to try our berry chia matcha cookies upstairs during the next food break. We would love to cater for your next event as well. Besides catering, we're also building an online platform, which now reaches over 40,000 people monthly. Please follow our page on Instagram to see how we're growing Seed to Serve as a catering business, a knowledge hub, and a space that brings purpose-driven people together. So, what I've learned in my year of Wattle is that people are more open to change than we think when we invite them to the table. And I'm inviting you to join the cause. Each of us eats on average about 3 times a day. And that's 3 chances a day to vote for the future that you want. Please use that power, as it might be just the most delicious way to change the world. Thank you.